Hello trainers, today we're in one of the oldest courtyards in all of Lisbon, right inside Palácio da Ajuda. By daylight, it's not that scary, but when night falls, it's a different story entirely. Locals and tourists alike have said that you can hear laughter even when you're all by yourself. Okay, so we weren't allowed to take the bags in, but we did manage to sneak the camera in.
Voice notes regarding Pokémon 200, Misdreavus. It's encouraging when you find a strong tie between a Pokémon and a place. Not just a haunting or a place they may exist, but a proper connection. There are several incidents of people being startled or scared in Palácio da Ajuda, always by something they can't prove was there. Mirrors not acting quite right, stairs having more steps one way than the other. What caught my attention, though, was this story from someone who worked there when it was converted into a museum in the 1990s. I don't have a name or exact date, of course, but this is the statement left by the worker. They told a story when I was young, about a girl who never left the palace. Everyone knew she was there, they saw her through the windows, but never outside. I'm not sure if she was a noble who wasn't allowed to get dirty, or a servant who had too much work to do. Years later, the people around the palace realized they hadn't seen her in a long time, and nobody did again. It was a fairy tale, and I didn't think much of it after I grew up. Until I started working here, that is. Now it's on my mind far too often. There is something there, in the palace, something that changes the way reality works there. You can feel it in the air, the rise and fall of the temperature, even if you stand still. Even if there's no draft. The clocks can't agree on what time it is. There is something unfamiliar with your own face when you look into the mirrors. The girl in the story, since she wasn't allowed outside, had to play with what she had inside. She'd made friends with the pets, played hide-and-seek with herself, and sang songs to whoever could hear her. But apparently the pets turned strange after a while, avoided other people, and refused to leave the house, too. The staff would hear someone whisper, "Found you," as they were about to fall asleep, and her voice always seemed to lag behind her lips when she sang. Some said she was whisked away by a lover, that was why she disappeared, and it was just swept under the rug. She wasn't married, so people just forgot her. I turned in my keys today, and I am not going back. I was the last one on site last night, and I was cleaning up around this wall we had torn down. It had been molding, and we wanted to set up a fresh, new one. Amongst the rubble I found a red pearl necklace. I went to pick it up, but as soon as I touched it, a cold breath on my neck whispered, "Found you." So, yeah. These are all telltale signs of Misdreavus, a mischievous Pokemon who likes to scare the crap out of people. It wouldn't surprise me if this whole story is based around one, or several Misdreavuses. I have high hopes of finding some actual evidence on our visit.
You know, I've always wanted to bungee jump, but I don't think you're allowed to do that from the Kishtoe.